other side of the bridge, you'll see a red brick building with a clock. This was originally a warehouse and food processing plant for the Reed Murdoch Wholesale Grocers, completed in 1913, designed by George C. Nimitz. It's an industrial-style building with some prairie school features, like the overhangs on the tower and the style of the terracotta ornamentation near the top. In the 1950s, the city purchased this building and used it for many years as their central office building. Traffic court was once located here. It's now owned by a developer who has converted it to a mixed-use building. On the other side of the bridge, an international-style building from 1987. It's clad in stainless steel and aqua-tinted glass. The principal tenant is now the American Bar Association. And the building next to it has a Japanese roof line because that was the Nikko Hotel owned by Japan Airlines when it opened in 1987. Designed by Helmuth Obata and Cassabaum, now it's the Western River North. And on the other side of the bridge, the corncob-like towers of Bertrand Goldberg's Marina City. Built in the mid-60s, when many Chicagoans were leaving the city for the suburbs. That development tried to encourage them to stay in the city by providing them with everything they would need right at their doorstep, self-contained. The city within a city. Nearly 900 wedge-shaped apartments on the upper floors of the towers, parking spaces below. Behind the towers, you'll see a rectangular building that was originally an office building, so you could live and work here. Now it's a hotel. The building with the curved roof was originally a theater. Now it's a House of Blues nightclub. At one time, there were various recreational facilities in the base, including an ice skating rink, and then the marina at the river level. What made this development so unique was not just its unusual design, but the fact that it incorporated residential, retail, commercial, and recreational facilities all in one complex. We're used to that today with all of the mixed-use buildings we have in Chicago now, but back in the 60s that was a very innovative idea. Here on the left is 330 North Wabash, originally the IBM building, completed in 1971, designed by Mies van der Rohe in the international style. One of the finest examples of that style that we have in Chicago, with its superb proportions and its very elegant details. It's clad in dark aluminum and bronze-tinted glass. There are now plans to convert some of the lower floors to a hotel. On the other side of the bridge, you'll see the Trump International Hotel and Tower. This is Donald Trump's development in Chicago. The building was designed by Skidmore, Owings & Merrill. It's clad in glass and stainless steel. And this is now the second tallest building in Chicago at approximately 1,360 feet. It's second only to the Willis Tower. The building is a condominium, two types of condominiums. The lower floors have hotel condominiums, which function very much like hotel rooms. The upper floors have conventional residential condominiums. And although the building is not finished yet, it's still under construction, some of the hotel condominiums are available for occupancy. And the restaurant on the 16th floor is open, and the mezzanine bar, which is called the Rebar, is also open. This white building with the clock tower is the Wrigley Building, completed in 1921, designed by Graham Anderson, Probst & White. It was the first major building to be completed on the north side of the river after the opening of the Michigan Avenue Bridge in 1920. It's clad in white terracotta, designed in the Spanish Renaissance style. The building across the street from it, with the American flag flying from its roof, is the Tribune Tower from 1925. That's the building whose design was determined by that architectural competition that I mentioned earlier. And the winner was this Gothic Revival design submitted by Howells and Hood of New York. It has an octagonal tower that's crowned with a ring of flying buttresses. There's arched shoulder-like projections like you see on Gothic cathedrals. Here, right along the river, where Fidelity is today, is the former Equitable Building from 1965, designed by Skidmore, Owings & Merrill in the international style. It's built on land that was purchased from the Tribune with the understanding that the building wouldn't be any taller than the Tribune Tower, and that it would be recessed from Michigan Avenue so that it wouldn't block views of or from the Tribune building. The windowless wall behind it is the back of the University of Chicago Bleacher Center, where the Graduate School of Business is located. Completed in 1994, designed by Lohan and Associates. And both before and after the Bleacher Center, in the distance, you'll see a tall, dark building with tapered walls and antennas on top. That's the John Hancock Building. It's now the 4th tallest building in Chicago, completed in 1970, designed by Skidmore, Owings & Merrill, and distinguished by the exterior cross-bracing. Here right along the river, the NBC Tower, also by Skidmore, Owings & Merrill from 1989, another postmodern building that recalls the Deco buildings of the 20s and 30s. And if you look about 2/3 of the way up the building, you'll see a row of flying buttresses, more Art Deco inspired than Gothic, but they reflect those that we just saw on the Tribune Tower. On the left, the Sheraton Chicago Hotel and Towers. This hotel was completed in 1992. It was designed by Solomon Cordwell Benz and Associates. This was part of a mixed-use development called Cityfront Center. Part of it is still known as, part of the development is still known as Cityfront Center. The easternmost portion is now known as River East, or River East Plaza is in the, it's the River East Arts Center now, is in River East. And coming up on the left is a fountain. This is the Nicholas J. Mellis Centennial Fountain. It was installed in 1989 to commemorate the founding of the Chicago Sanitary District in 1889. That's the agency that reversed the flow of the river. As we pass by the fountain, you'll see a little pyramid-shaped structure in front of it with a hole in it. That's the water cannon. The water cannon shoots an 80-foot arc of water out over the Chicago River almost every hour on the hour for 10 minutes. It provides a wonderful gateway into the city from the river, and it symbolically links the north and south sides of the river. The fountain was designed by Dirk Lohan, who is the grandson of Mies van der Rohe. Here on the left, a condominium designed by DeStefano and Partners. It's called Riverview. And next to Riverview is a construction site. It's a very quiet construction site right now. That's the site of that new tall building that I referred to earlier. The name of the building is the Chicago Spire. The architect is Santiago Calatrava, a Spanish architect known for his innovative bridge designs, the turning torso in Malmö, Sweden, in addition to the Milwaukee Art Museum, the Olympic Stadium in Athens, and many other projects throughout the world. His design for this building is very unique as well. It's a narrow, twisted glass tower. It's on the cover of the brochure that lists the times of our cruises. I'll hold this up when you leave. You can take a look at it, and they have at the ticket counter if you'd like one. The building is scheduled to be 2,000 feet tall, which would make it the tallest building in the United States, the tallest all-residential building in the world. It's planned as a condominium, nearly 1,200 condominium units on 150 floors. You can see that it's very quiet there right now. They were working on it up until last fall, and then everything stopped. The developer is from Ireland, and the Irish bank was going to provide a construction loan ran into financial difficulty. So the project is on hold right now. That doesn't mean we won't see the Spire someday. This past spring, the AFL-CIO, the American Federation of Labor, expressed some interest in possibly providing some financing for the Spire, and their motivation is that it would provide a lot of construction jobs for union members, which are very much needed in this economy. So we're waiting to see if the project is going to be revived. Ahead of the boat now are the locks leading out to Lake Michigan. The gate on the riverside is closed right now, but it looks like something is happening. It's either partially closed or partially opened, so something may be happening there. The river is a couple feet lower than Lake Michigan, and so the water level needs to be adjusted with the locks. II. And coming up on the right, where you see this hot air balloon, doesn't really go anywhere except up. This is Navy Pier. This was our municipal pier when it opened in 1960. It was designed by Charles Sumner Frost. Over the years, it's been a freight and passenger terminal. It was a naval training facility. And for a number of years after World War II, the University of Illinois had classrooms on Navy Pier. In the early 90s, the pier was renovated, and it opened in 1995 as a recreation and entertainment complex. The white tent-like structure that's over on Navy Pier is the Skyline Stage. It's an open-air theater. There's also a children's museum there. There's a free stained glass museum, a Shakespeare theater, exhibit halls, shops, restaurants, and amusement rides, including the Ferris wheel, a 15-story Ferris wheel that reminds us that the first Ferris wheel debuted here in Chicago during the World's Columbian Exposition, that World's Fair that was held here in 1893 with the stars in our flag. Off the right-hand side, a tall, dark, cloverleaf-shaped building. This is Lake Point Tower. It's a 70-story residential condominium, completed in 1968, designed by Schifferite Heinrich. George Schifferite and John Heinrich were students of Mies van der Rohe at the Illinois Institute of Technology in the 1950s, and that building shows the influence